Yes, man. What's going on out here at Louis Armstrong Park right now? You'll see some people walking by. It's kind of a cool place. Do a lot of festivals and shit up in New Orleans area in this place here. Listen, talked to a lot of people recently. Maybe their trading isn't going as good as they'd like. Maybe you're trying to get into real estate and you can't find a property because houses are too expensive. I had that this week. I went and walked a bunch of properties in Florida. I felt like everybody was bidding a little too high. I got outbid on all my bids. It is what it is. I got to make that call. I can either hold to my price or I can raise my price. It just depends, right? But if you're just getting started in these things like investing, especially being a trader, let me tell you this. Investing is much easier than trading. Trading is one of the hardest endeavors that you can do. The smartest people in the world wake up every day to make money in the stock market. There are people like me, sharks. They wake up, got boards, been studying, been looking at charts, got all these ideas, been thinking on it, practicing it, putting in more time, got more money than you, working as hard as they can to make money. That's your competition. Now, when I began to teach the money flow, my goal was to try to help new people, inexperienced people. I lost about $70,000 in about 7 years learning to trade. And even now, while I consider myself a professional trader and I make money trading, it's not always perfect and it's not a job. And one of the hardest part of trading is you might bust your ass for 5-6 months and at the end be dead even. Some of the greatest will have bad years. So in other words, you could be a good trader, have a good trading strategy, and a year later you are negative. And that's hard for people to understand because trading is the ultimate form of entrepreneurialism. You are literally making money with money. I mean, the product itself is money. And if you're coming at this from a wage type background, most people are not entrepreneurs, but trading is the ultimate form of entrepreneurialism. It's the ultimate form of risk. It's money for not ultimate risk, but it obviously has inherent risk. There's a lot of risk involved in trading. Let's just say it like that. And no amount of desire is going to make you a good trader. Today on my podcast, if you don't listen to the Money Flow Trading Society podcast, you might know I do a couple different podcasts. I would advise you to start with my free ebook. Just hit the bio link. You don't have to die broke. Let's start there, man. We want to get your buckets right first before we get you trading. Meaning we want to do these things in order. And the reason we want to do them in order, well, is we're trying to have clarity. And so I was talking on the podcast about a couple things. One, you got to be clear. You got to understand you. You got to understand your weaknesses and your strengths. You got to understand what makes you happy, what makes you sad, because the market is going to try you, bro. It's going to try you, and life's going to get tough. And guess what? If you want to be a boxer, you're going to get fucking punched, right? Well, if you want to be a trader, part of that is losing money. And had a young lady the other day, first couple stocks she bought went down. She's like, maybe the market's not for me. Now listen, you're just starting. But if a couple losing trades upset you that much, then yeah, the market probably is not for you because you're going to have losing trades. There are some of the greatest traders ever who might have a losing streak. Tom Brady just lost to the New Orleans Saints. Like, people lose, man. Get used to it. Here's the thing. You're not going to get a second place trophy in the stock market. You're going to get what the fuck you deserve. The world is not so jacked up yet that it gives people what they don't deserve. At least not for very long. So what I talked about is, one, you got to know yourself. This is hard if you're young. You don't really know yourself. I know you think you do. Well, I'm 18, I like this, I like that. Dude, your taste buds are still changing. Like, your fucking brain hasn't even finished growing. That's the crazy thing about being young, is you start to think you know shit. Truth is, you don't know anything. That's the crazy part, man. And it takes us a while to figure that out. And when I look back at 30-year-old Gerald, what a dumbass. I look back at 40-year-old Gerald, what a dumbass. And now I'm 50 and I feel like I know everything. I know when I'm 60, I'm gonna look back and be like, what a dumbass. There were all kinds of things I could have done or could have said. Let me switch hands here, man. So my point is, number one, you got to know yourself. Number two, And you got to get and know yourself with clarity, okay? Your strength, your weaknesses, who you are, what it is you're trying to do, what it is you're trying to accomplish, what your goals are. So your goals need to be, you can't just say, well, I just want some winning trades. No, man. How much money do you want in your trading account? That needs to be part of this. How much money do you want to make? $1 million? Okay, cool. Well, number 2 is setting realistic expectations. So are your goals in line with realistically what the stock market does? Because if you're asking the market to do something it doesn't do, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. So if we can get a clear expectation of what the market actually does, and then get our goals in alignment with what it can actually do for us, that's a winning formula. And so I would encourage you to ask yourself, what are your expectations? The stock market averages about 9% a year. And this is why there's a whole cottage industry built around the idea of index only. These are people who think you cannot beat an index fund, right? These are stupid people. Now, can everyone beat an index fund? Absolutely not. Will most people beat an index fund? Absolutely not. But the person who applies themselves, who learns, who studies, and yeah, it's gonna take time. I'm of the opinion it'll take you 3 to 5 years to get where you can consistently outperform the stock market. And yet there's still people who tell you you can't do that. Again, I think those are dumb people. They're, let's say, maybe not dumb, misguided. See, the fact that you can't put in the time and the study and the effort and learn doesn't mean I can't. Will most people play in the NBA? No. So should we take their advice and go, well, since most people can't be professionals, I shouldn't try? Fuck no. You need to try. If it's in you, if you have a desire, if you want to, if you enjoy it, if you like it. Now, you're not going to be able to beat the index if you don't like reading, if you don't like following the markets, if you don't like research. If your idea of beating the market is following Wall Street bets and getting on Twitter, then no, you probably don't have a chance. Now, nothing wrong with Twitter. I use Twitter. Nothing wrong with Wall Street bets. That could be a good source of lead generation. And you need a way of generating leads, stock leads, stocks that, you need to get ahead of the market. So we're going into Christmas. You should have already had your Christmas plays. You needed to be thinking about your Christmas plays back in July. So when the market set up, you're ready to go. So what's coming next, right? Summer's coming. What are your summer plays? Are you thinking about that? Parks, vacation things, cruise ships. Are you thinking about this? Are you getting ahead of that trade? So what I mean by getting ahead of that trade is you want to get those stocks when they're down, when other people aren't thinking about it yet. And so again, that comes back to being a student of the market. So no, if you're not going to spend time, if you're not going to give it 3 to 5 years, if you're not going to master the craft, if you're not interested, then no, you have no chance of beating the index fund. And in that situation, just put it in a mutual fund or index fund and go about your life and go spend your time doing things that you do enjoy, that you do like doing. So number 1 was clarity, right? We got to know who we are. Number 2 was, what did we say number 2 was? Realistic expectations, right? So you got to have a realistic, there's my man in the back, realistic expectations, right? And number 3, and this is crucially important, number 3, you got to invest in you, bro. And I don't just mean like the guru says that, like, oh, buy my course. That could be it, and you should buy my courses. You guys that follow me all the time, watch all my content, read my book, you're like, oh, Gerald, you've really helped me with the stock market. And yet you haven't bought my whole catalog? Shame on you, man. You are greedy. The universe will pay you back, bro. You're greedy because it ain't that expensive, man. And that's how you honor the gift, man. Some of you, I've given you the gift of trading. Like, you can do this now without me for the rest of your life, what you've been shown. And they won't buy a book. Shameful. It's terrible, man. Everybody that I like who creates content, writes, I'm not talking about you out spending 10 grand. I'm not saying that. But there are about 30 people, if they write a book, I buy it. Shit, I know most of everything in there. I still buy it. Because why? I like them. I like their content. I'm trying to help them. And so now a lot of people do, and you guys know who you are. And I talk to a lot of you on the phone. I talk to people via DM, and I much appreciate it, And recently, I'm 51 years old. I retired, shut down my main business, and now I'm just dedicated myself to trying to help new people come into the stock market, learn a strategy they can use for the rest of their life, and obviously to continue pushing my real estate. So now I just, after 21 years, I just do investing. That's what I do. I do investing, I teach investing, and I trade. And I did that shit for a hobby for 20 years. And my hobby made me a multimillionaire. So I became a multimillionaire as a hobby, And the moment this stuff, again, clarity. Number one, clarity. Who are you? So I didn't want to do real estate just for money. I actually love real estate. If you watch some of my stories on Instagram, you'll see me taking you through the French Quarter. Why? I love that shit, dude. I take pictures of doors. I like to go through at night. I love the architecture. I love everything about houses and homes. And so it's a great joy for me to be able to buy homes. And right now, looking for a beach house, it's fucking awesome. That's been a bucket list of mine, to have a beach house. Are you kidding? I was raised by a single mom in a trailer park in Arkansas, man. I'm buying fucking beach houses. Are you kidding me? So that is super huge for me. Buying a house over here in the French Quarter, fucking bucket list, dude. They're fucking stupid expensive. $500 a square foot, totally stupid. But guess what? I made that money by following my passion, investing, trading, right? But guess what? That wasn't what I did for a living. What I did for a living was made a living, and I took the profits. I took the profits from my business. I took the profits from my job, and I invested them into the things that I loved, which was investing in real estate, dividend stocks. I love dividend stocks. I post them on my story on Instagram. I get a $10 dividend. I post it. I didn't do shit for that $10. It just handed to me. The other day, I get a $240 dividend from MFA, a mortgage REIT. I didn't do shit for that. I bought that stock like 8 years ago. I didn't do anything. They just give me $240. Well, guess what? You start adding it up. It's a couple $1,000s a month. I'm not doing anything. I already paid for the stocks, but they keep giving me money. I love that. I cannot express to people how fucking awesome that is. When I got turned on to that game, it blew my fucking mind. There's a lot of people like, oh, whatever, dude. I'm telling you, when I got turned on to dividends and I don't do anything and money just appears in my account, to this day, I get tickled. To this day, I get excited. Like AT&T just paid me their dividend. Verizon paid. I collected $450 in dividends that day. That's for work I've done over the last 21 years, man. And a lot of times people say, well, how much do you have invested? That's called millionaire math. The reason you're not getting that is you don't know how to do the millionaire math. I have tons of videos on millionaire math. You should be doing millionaire math all the time. Everywhere you go, millionaire math. How many customers in here? How much are they charging per plate? How much you think this thing grosses? Like you're just inquisitive. Millionaire math. Oh, how much is this house? How much could it rent for? And guess what? If I can't rent it to cover the mortgage, this is a bad area to rent in. Millionaire math. So I'm constantly doing millionaire math to establish myself, to keep my mind thinking like that. So as I drive by a gas station, an Exxon station, oh, that's a 5.5% dividend yield, blah, blah, blah. Like millionaire math. And so again, who am I? Knowing myself. Number one, know yourself. If none of that shit that I just said interests you, this game is not for you. Go do something else. You're going to lose all your money. Number two, realistic expectations. Are you going to get rich overnight from dividend stocks? Hell no. Guess what? I've owned some of those stocks for 16 years. My position in BX has gone from 4,000 to 36,000, and I haven't added any money. I've just been letting it grow on its own. From 4 to 36, not counting, and I've been just reinvesting the dividends, man. What is that? That's just time. Time times amount times yield equals millionaire. And so if you buy a stock today, 16 years from now, it's going to be paying you hundreds of dollars. And if you buy 10 of them, they're going to be paying you thousands of dollars. And if you buy, you get what I'm saying, right? So one, clarity of yourself. Who are you? What's your weaknesses? What are your strengths? Take an assessment. Number two, realistic expectations, okay? Understanding those things take time. Realistic expectations. Are you asking something from your trading that it actually cannot provide you? Okay? Like, I want to go full-time in real estate. Well, your expectation is unreasonable. That's not how people do it, okay? I've spent some time the other day with a friend of mine. He's a plumber. Or not a plumber. Well, he's a plumber. I'm getting people confused. There's a guy who's a plumber, 20-something properties. Spent time with another guy the other day. He's a roofer. We have lunch. He does roofing. He does a little of this, little of that. Same shit I teach, multiple income streams. Guess what? 21 houses. He doesn't do real estate for a living. He lives to own real estate. Big difference. I don't trade for a living. I live to trade. Big difference. And the moment your brain switches to that, the shit gets so much easier because the expectations become realistic, right? Become realistic. And number 3, and we'll wrap up here, man, invest in yourself, man. What does that look like? Let's say you buy a stock and you're trading and you take a big hit. You ain't got to eat that hit, man. Say you lose $300. Transfer $300. Go get the $300. Put it back in the account. Start over. Oh, I lost it. Put it back in the account. Start over. Man, you're learning. Repetition is the mother of skill. It's unrealistic to think you're going to put money one time in an account and somehow you're going to trade that to a bunch of money. That is complete bullshit if you're thinking that. That is an unrealistic expectation. I'm still putting money in my trading account. Why? Because I want to trade millions. And I don't have time to wait around winning trades. I want winning trades and I'm putting money in, right? And so if you're just starting, it's always sirens around here, man. You got $5,000 in your account, good. You got to get it to 10. A combination of winning trades and you putting money in. And then you get it to 10, good. You got to get it to 25. A combination of you putting money in and winning trades, good. Now we got to get it to 50, and then 100, and then 250. I don't know how high you want to go. How much do you want to trade, right? So I'm trying to get where I'm trading a minimum. My swing trade account is $250,000. My dividends are a minimum $1 million, and my real estate is 3 to 5. We got to get it to 5 million, right? So is that a realistic expectation? Well, where I am today, it's very realistic. And that doesn't mean you don't think big and 10x. I'm just saying, is it possible what you're asking for the market to do, or you're investing to do, or your business to do for you? Hey, appreciate you listening, man, and walking through Louis Armstrong Park with me. Anything I can do for you, reach out by text message, DM, however I can help you. Hit my bio link, grab my free ebook, all that good stuff, man. Happy trading.